Greetings, gardeners. This fine-looking evergreen shrub next to me is a Brazilian member of the myrtle family known as the Jaboticaba. It's one of my favorite fruits in the myrtle group. I really love the Jaboticaba a lot. If there was anything wrong with this plant at all, the only thing I could say negative about Jaboticaba is it takes a long time to come to fruit, most varieties. Now, I have some new seedlings on the table provided by my good friend Joe Hewitt that he brought seed in from Brazil that may take less time, perhaps 3 to 6 years as opposed to 10 to 15. The one next to me here, I believe I planted this back in about 2007, so that makes it a 10-year-old. It was from a seed. I selected the seeds from Jaboticaba fruit that was outstanding, and as it turns out, this plant also produces outstanding fruit, perhaps even better than the mother plant. It certainly came on a little earlier than most Jaboticaba of this variety because a lot of them will take even 15 years in this climate before they begin to bear. This is the only downside. They're kind of like the pawpaw. Perhaps that's why I am endeared to them. They take forever. They're a long-lived thing. Anyway, if you're not familiar with Jaboticaba, let's have a look. The fruit grows right on the side of the main trunks. The crop in this one is a little light because we have been picking, and this is the first year that I'm aware that it turned around and it made any fruit at all. And so this is a new experience on this plant. These are a little bit easier to see over here. See how the fruit just dangles off the side of the trunk. This looks unusual to people who are used to temperate fruiting plants, but actually in the tropics there appear to be quite a few, like cacao, the chocolate. Pods come right off the side of the main trunk. The jackfruit, which is the flavor of juicy fruit gum, they come right off the side of the main trunk. And so this is not all that unusual. Durian, that stinky old fruit, smells like old gym socks. It's kind of a cult fruit. It does the same thing. Anyhow, the fruit is similar to a grape. So now that we've had a look at it, how about we give it a taste? So, just in case I hadn't mentioned previously, the 10-year-old plant is approximately 10 feet high and maybe 6 to 7 feet wide. It hasn't ever been pruned. This is its natural shape. A lot of people will clear off the lower trunks below. It makes it easier to pick the fruit to begin with, but they claim that it will make the plant more fruitful. You'll get more fruit and more flowers. It's a sight to see when the flowers come because they're kind of light pink, looks almost like cherry blossom color, and the trunks cover with the flowers instead of the tips of the tree. So here we have them. Folks from the eastern United States, for instance, would probably be familiar with the Concord grape. That is what I use as a comparison to this fruit. The fruit is in no way related. Okay, there's no connection other than they're both plants. But the rough color, the fact that there's a skin on the outside of this that's a slip skin like with a grape, so if you popped it, the inside would come flying out with the seed and the skin remains in the fingers. The inside of it is a kind of gelatinous, similar to the interior texture of a Concord grape. Again, it would be very much the same. Usually just one seed in here, slightly larger than a grape seed. And the skin has the tannin or the sour. So the acetic is in the outside. The inside is very wet and very sweet. And so the inside actually doesn't have a lot of character until you start to bite into the skin, and then the flavor that makes it Jaboticaba rather than grape will come on, and Jaboticaba is distinct in its taste. So here we go. Now ordinarily, I pop the entire thing in my mouth, okay? Ordinarily, but I wanted to let you see what it looks like in there, see? Got that whitish pulp, very wet, very sweet, with a purple skin. So usually, put the whole thing in, begin to work it. It's really delicious, okay? It really is good. As I said, the skin's got the acid, so I got the seed with the sweet pulp on one side of the mouth, and the skin on the other. It takes a little while to work at Jaboticaba. I've been holding this in my mouth here, and so I have the seed with a little bit of fiber around it. I still have the skin. I bit into it and released the acidic quality, but I did not eat the skin. You can. I don't. I do that with the skin and the seeds, of course, I save. I will have Jaboticaba seed from this tree. Anybody's interested. Oh man, it's like this rush of wet, sweet juice. That's what I love about this fruit, because it'll be a nice hot day here. You're out working, and you grab some Jaboticabas and toss them in the mouth, and it's like, wow, it's a flood of flavor. That's perfect, right there. I have another seed for the garden, and then we have the skin, which I did not chew. That is, I did not masticate it and swallow the skin. Just kind of bite at it to release the acidity. It gives the best balance. There you have the Jaboticaba. If you're not familiar with this fruit, if you have a climate that is at least as mild as the San Francisco Bay, that would be, let's see, USDA Zone 9. All right, these will grow in Fremont, where I used to live. We had some over there. David Pellerin's growing them at Quarry Lakes, and he got them to fruit quite early. The variety he's using, I believe, is one of the early fruiting types. About 6 years, David told me, to get those to fruit in California. So the plant will grow in Northern California. It's not strictly tropical, and it's well worth it. It's a real curiosity. This is a total novelty when it comes to how it grows and fruits. It's a beautiful plant. It fits easily into a landscape. It appears to have almost no disease problems, and because the fruit's on the inside, the birds can't find it as easily, so it hides its load. Good fruit, good plant. You love it. Jaboticaba. Aloha, happy gardening.